By the way, today we had really poor employment numbers. We had poor employment numbers, and the market really took a hit. But the bulls came back by the end. And on a little bit higher volume, as you can see here, we wound up having a what we call a upside down Lincoln's hat, which usually means that the next trading session or the next bar will be up. We'll see if investors have that sentiment as they come through the weekend. If we take a look at a weekly chart, you can see right here that today this was an up week, probably one of the upping most weeks in a while after we've hit this bottom. You know, we're actually not that close, that far with respect to the Dow to regaining where we left off back in April. All right, so that's the Dow. Well, let's pull it back to a daily chart. And then let's update where we are here. So 10,600, we closed at 10,653. We're right in that channel. As you can see here, the 50 is not above the 200-day, but everything else is in line. Trading bias is neutral. Looking at the Nasdaq, we gapped down on open all the way down to the 200, but stayed up there. Again, volume was high. The bulls came back. 30 is still below the 50. The 50 is shown by this pink line. Let's go ahead and, by the way, that key reversal up pattern, it's not actually a key reversal up because we would have closed higher than our previous close. So, but this is promising, saying that the bulls, once they got over the employment numbers, brought the market back up. Looking at a weekly chart, you can again see that this was a great week for the Nasdaq. It jumped up on Monday and stayed up there. Still waiting for it to finish its retracement. If I go back to a daily chart, we are still very much waiting for it to finish this retracement right here. Get above this line, which would be the 100% line. In the meantime, we are for sure, if we take our update here, we are at 2,288. We are between support and resistance. Everything else stays the same. Because we haven't completed that retracement, we're calling this neutral bearish. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Now the S&P 500, the 30 is still not above the 50. We do have the 200 right there. We do have our reverse Lincoln's hat. Weekly chart shows that we had a really great up week. As much as people want to say that we had some bad news in the short duration, we're actually very strongly moving up. Last but not least, we do like to look at that retracement, and the S&P passed that retracement a while ago. Looking at support, we've been leery about redoing support and resistance, 1,100, 1,120. We closed at 1,121, but our low was all the way down to 1,107. So I'm not ready again to redo support and resistance until I get a complete open, high, low, close bar above resistance. But because we completed the retracement, I'm going to call this neutral. New York Stock Exchange Composite Index, very similar, upside down Lincoln's hat. And if we take a look at the weekly chart, there you go. Good up week. Slowly but surely, the bull is climbing up the stairs. Volatility index pulling down even more despite all the craziness that supposedly happened with employment numbers. And there is a lot of focus on employment numbers. But when you look at the market and the way that it's digesting, team, we're not doing so bad. 21.74. Overall trading bias, we're going to stick with our neutral. We're going to stick with a sideways choppy channel. But honestly, the way that we're seeing the market today, team, Despite the short duration bad news about employment numbers in July, the market is regaining slowly but surely. We'll see what happens for this upcoming week with respect to the Fed Open Market Committee meeting. Otherwise, it's only going to take one headline to send the market up or send the market down. It's going to be the right headline. And we need to be prepared with trades in both directions. It's that market. That's what this neutral trading bias and sideways choppy channel means. Also, it means that if you're trading options, setting up positions that pay you based on time decay is a smart thing to be doing. Hey, that's all I've got for you, team. Please take care.